Hello, welcome to the very first episode of Offside and On Tap, the only place where Premier League predictions come with a cold pint and absolutely no shame in getting them wildly wrong. I'm Tricky, just a guy with a beer, some opinions, and no fear of being clipped for freezing cold takes. So, this episode is going to be about the season's predictions, the full season predictions, top six, relegation zone, individual awards for players. But before we get into all that, I'm going to introduce you to the first drink of the series. Before I do this, two observations, 2 points. Um, it's not going to be from a tap, it's from the bottle, but it's come from a tap originally to get into the bottle, hasn't it? So, in a way. And the second thing, if you are precious over stuff like that, this probably isn't the right channel for you, in all honesty. So here it is. It's Punk IPA, really one of my favourites, to be honest with you. It's brewed in Elon, in Aberdeenshire, made by Brewdog. Brewdog have been formed since 2007, and it's the best selling. It was the best selling craft ale in 2016 in the United Kingdom as well. But I've only been drinking this probably for 5 years since with lockdown and COVID, to be honest with you. Big favourite of mine. It's 5.4%. Particularly like the Brewdog Doghouse Hotel in Manchester as well. I want to go there. I like to go there for a drink. Really nice. There's a rooftop bar as well. Great in the summer. Really big fan of Brewdog in general. To do lots of other drinks as well that I'm sure I'll be getting to during this series. So that's the first drink of this series. It's Punk IPA. Let's get into the football now. So it's been a long summer without Premier League football. We have had the Women's Euros, the England Under-21 men's. They've both won the trophies. Fantastic effort. And we've also had the Club World Championship. Didn't we watch much of that, to be honest with you? I think it's a bit of a con. But some of the story, I'm sure we'll get into that as well. Uh, Things I'm looking forward to. Premier League 2025-26 season. Newcastle fan. It's the Newcastle Sunderland Townway derby. It's going to be raucous, I'm sure. 2 games this season. Can't wait for that. It's been a long time. Also, will Man United be as bad as last season? Can't say I've got any particular sympathy for them, I guess, being a Newcastle fan. But surely it can't be that bad again. Be interesting to see whether the additions do actually help them get into that sort, I'm sure. And world champions Chelsea, just touched on that. They give it the big, will they give it the big and threaten a title challenge that lasts longer than a packet of biscuits at a builder's tea break? Let's see if that goes any further this season. They went for quite a part of the season, then dropped away. So there's some stories that hopefully will develop through the season that we're really going to look forward to seeing happen. So let's get into the picks for the top six, bottom three, and some big individual player awards as well. Grab yourself a drink and let's dive into it. Top six first. Here we go. Aston Villa. I'm going for sixth place. Great season last season. There were a clutch of 4 clubs that I really enjoyed watching. Aston Villa, Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest, Newcastle. Counter-attacking teams. Always full passing. Really quick pace, and love watching them. And obviously they had a good season as well. Great Champions League run. Really disappointing to go out to PSG. Nearly did for them in the end. The eventual winners of the competition, obviously PSG, but I thought Villa were going to get them. And they had a good Premier League season as well. Obviously, they were robbed. They were robbed at Old Trafford in the last game. I hate to admit that, but the only reason Newcastle are probably in the Champions League is because the referee made a shocking decision. He denied Morgan Rogers the goal. The ball clearly wasn't in the keeper's hands. Blowing the whistle before the ball's gone on the net. And he can't give the goal because of that, even though VAR tried to intervene. So really unfortunate. Ended up in sixth place on 65 points, I think it was. But this season they're going to go again. Not in the Champions League, but in the league. Unai Emery's really class manager, isn't he? He's world class. There's no saying otherwise, really. Prior to him coming in, 3 seasons before he came in, Aston Villa, just checking this, they finished 17th, 11th, and 14th in the Premier League. The 3 seasons since he came in halfway through 22-23 season to go from Steven Gerrard, which was a bit of a disaster in the end. They finished 7th, 4th, and 6th. So it goes without saying he's made a big difference to them. Villa got a really good core of players in the team. I think the fact that they haven't really added many players to that yet isn't a massive thing, as long as they don't lose any players. Then talk of Martinez going potentially to Man United. That's gone very quiet. Ollie Watkins, they have to keep Ollie Watkins. Where can you replace that kind of striker for relatively decent money, low money? They need to keep hold of him. Again, links with Newcastle, Man United. Seems like every striker's been linked with those two the last couple of weeks. Um, so they need to keep hold of him, and they've just actually added another striker from Nice, Gussan. So hopefully that is a little bit of cover for Ollie Watkins as well. I think it was a big loss when John Duran left halfway through the season. There was a bit of competition between the two of those strikers, and it really helped them. Lots of goals, obviously, and then they dropped off a little bit because they were doing really well, and then they still finished 6th and should have been higher, like I say. Tielemans midfield, free transfer, exceptional. He absolutely bossed a lot of the games, including towards the end of the season when Villa beat Newcastle handsomely. He's exceptional. Another player that we missed out on as well. Just to add that in there. Newcastle. He only missed 2 games all season, so absolute value for you. But yeah, I have to keep hold of Watkins. I like Jacob Ramsey. I like Morgan Rogers. Really good players, potential England players as well for the future. So I put Aston Villa down for 6th place. 5th place, have to get them in here somewhere. Newcastle United. Another good season last season. Qualified for the Champions League, like I mentioned before, quite fortuitously, but we did play really well last season. Much better season with not as many injuries. Isak scoring a handful of goals again, fantastic. For me, best midfield 3 in the Premier League. Tonali, Joelinton, Bruno. We just have to keep them all fit this season because we haven't got the depth. We've let Longstaff go in the field. Wilkes injured again at the start of the season. And we do need to add centre back to cover. Share, Burn, Botman's still not quite right, I don't think. So we do need to replace, we need to get a central defender in, as well as the strikers that we're trying to get, of course, because if Isak does want to go, the only way he's going to be let go is if we get replacements in, and we're going to need 2. Looking at Wissa, but he would be a Wilson replacement, not an Isak replacement. Seska's on his way to Man United. So I'm sorry, Isak, but it might be another season before you actually get your dream move to Liverpool. So I'm going to go for Newcastle 5th place. 4th place, I'm just going to get a drink before I start this one. This one might surprise a few of you. Lovely. Has gone a little bit flat though. 4th place, Arsenal. Now, hold your horses and know what you're thinking. They've been second the last 2 seasons. That's a little bit why I'm going for that as well. How much of that is affecting them mentally, the mentality, because they've lost twice now. Man City, Liverpool beating them. Man City not having a great season last season. They thought Arsenal would have been, they were the favourites at one point. So Liverpool just bossed it in the end. But how much is that taken out of Arsenal? Arsenal's mentality to try and win. Just couldn't get it done again, and it seems to be every season, February, March, they just drop away. They lose a lot of games, draw a lot of games, they draw a lot last season, and they just can't get it done. The big story was they couldn't get a striker in through the season or before the season started. Every pundit that was on TV or radio, why haven't Arsenal bought a striker? Then lose Jesus and Havertz through the season through injury. Makes things very hard for you, doesn't it? Without that solid centre back partnership, Gabriel, forget the other chappie's names are horrendous. It'll come to me in a second. Saliba, absolute fantastic defenders. I think they'd have been in trouble. David Raya in goals as well. Fantastic joint top on clean sheets last season. Again, he's really good. They signed Gyökeres from Portuguese league, but I don't think he's your man. I really don't. I heard on the radio a couple of days ago, last season, he did score 30 odd goals, but he only scored 3 goals against top half finishing teams in Portugal. I don't know if that's going to be a sign of what's to come. I might be proven wrong, but I don't think he's the one who's going to take you to the next level. And in fact, I think the fact that you haven't got that exceptional striker that I believe he won't be, you're going to get passed by a few. So that's the fourth place. Summer Mendy comes in the midfield, very good, playing there with Rice. And in the midfield, possibly push Rice further forward, but I do think Declan Rice is better in holding midfield. I've got to be honest. A lot of people think he's better further forward, not me. So after all, the teams are going to push past Arsenal this season, and they'll finish in fourth place. Third place, Chelsea, World Cup champions, for whatever that's worth. They smashed PSG in the final. I was really shocked by that, actually. I had the result the other way around to PSG at the start, but Chelsea were absolutely fantastic in that game. They're young, they're talented, they keep the manager longer than the normal 18-month average stint, and they might actually gel. They spent so much money again this summer. A lot of them on strikers. They've got more strikers than there are men in a Bonnie Blue video, so there's no excuses for not scoring. That's the strikers, not the men in the Bonnie Blue video, you know. They'll bounce all the competitions in the Champions League again. They did that last season when they were in the Conference League. They won the Conference League, a lot easier competition, granted. But I think they'll actually go better in the league again this season. I think they'll get into third, past Arsenal. Third place for Chelsea this season. Second place, Manchester City. I think the title race is going to be much closer this season. I really do. And I think Manchester City will sort the game out. They were horrific defensively last season. I don't know what went wrong. They've got so many options at the back. World class goalkeeper. It just all went wrong at the point that Rodri left and got injured. I just don't understand that. You've got plenty of talent to come in, and it just didn't happen for them, did it? And they had a great start to the season, a great end. The middle was like an episode of Love Island. It's boring to watch, and it was full of talentless tosses, to be honest. Wasn't great for Man City, but they did recover at the end of the season. Not how you start, and it's normally how you finish. Didn't do anything with the competitions, didn't win a trophy. But Rodri was a massive blow to them, and Erling Haaland also had an injury through the season, which stunted his normal talent, massive amount of goals that he got. He still did really well, got up on the high scoring charts with the goals. And they strengthened in January as well, put some additions in, the likes of Mamouche, Kustanov, players like this, and they've gone again for this season. They've brought in some really good looking players, Ryan Cherky from Lyon, amongst others, and they're just really, they're going to be really strong for me. They're going to come back to the fore, tap a sort of defence out, and they will not be as bad as last season, and they'll have a much better season. And that's just not in the league. And all City will be very close to the top of the Premier League this season. It's going to be very close, I think, for me. Manchester City second, and probably obvious now with the teams that are left. For first place, it's going to be defending the title, Liverpool. They've kept their main men. They've kept Virgil. They've kept Salah. Alexander Arnold's gone to pastures new. But they've added some very exciting new players, especially at fullback. Kirkes really impressed me last season at Bournemouth, and they've got Frimpong in as well. And they've added Florian Wirtz, who's been costing them a pretty penny, but he's a proven international quality player. Is he worth that money? We'll soon find out, won't we? But they did need that midfield player to go in there. Szoboszlai disappointed last season for me. Not as good as his first season. But I mean, Slot inherited a fantastic squad from Klopp, and he's now added his own players into that. So it's probably going to be better than they were last season. I don't believe they're going to be finished yet in the market. They may still get Isak from Newcastle. Hopefully not from my point of view or Newcastle fans' point of view. But they're going to add probably a couple more to that as well. I really enjoy watching Liverpool, which is a strange thing to say for an opposite team, but unlike a lot of the big six teams, the likes of Man City and Arsenal, just pass, build up, pass. Liverpool always trying on the front foot, always looking to get forward. Really enjoy watching that rather than tippy-tappy football, basically. So Liverpool, you will be the champions of England once again, in my view. So let's go to the other end of the table. Let's start with 20th place. So, three teams that came up: Burnley, Leeds, Sunderland. They've all spent a lot of cash, a lot of money for new players, and I think they had to, because the previous two seasons, the teams that came up, they've all gone straight back down. So they've actually had to do this to try and keep themselves above water, get themselves to stay in the Premier League this coming season. But 20th place, I'm going to go for Burnley. I just don't feel like they've got that quality in the team to stay in the division, even though they have spent a pretty penny again on players. Love Scott Parker, former Newcastle player. From what you hear, is a really good coach. The outstanding in defence last season in the Championship. 16 goals conceded in 46 games. It's brilliant, but they didn't score. They didn't score so many either. I think Leeds scored 26 more goals than them in the league, which ultimately gave them the title on goal difference. So that cost Burnley in that regard. Kyle Walker's gone to Burnley as well. He has a little bit of experience, but for me, he's done it. His best years are behind him. And they've obviously lost James Trafford in goals, lost a good keeper there. So will they be able to stay above? I don't think so. I really don't think they'll be as bad as the teams last season, Southampton, but I do think they'll go down in 20th place, Burnley. 19th place, I'm going for Wolves. They were 16th last season, only above the three teams that went down from the Championship, that came up from the Championship the previous season, and Spursy mad. They're the only teams that were below them. They're saved a little bit by Cunha's goals. Obviously, he's moved on. He's gone to Old Trafford. He's going to score them some goals. United fans are hoping. But he's a massive miss to them. Can they replace him with the same kind of quality? We'll soon find out. They haven't yet. Very quiet on the old transfer front. And Outnori also is a fantastic player for them at left back. He's gone to Manchester City. So they've lost two key players from their team who they may struggle to stay up without them, in my opinion. Sorry, but I think Wolves will be starter quality this season, and they will go down. 19th place Wolves. And time for the outrageous relegation candidate, in my opinion. People might be shocked by this, but a friend of mine has also agreed with this on his own YouTube channel. 18th place Brentford. They've lost Thomas Frank, the manager. They've lost Brian Blamo, talisman goal scorer, gone to Manchester United. They've also lost their captain, Christian Norgard. He's gone as well. Moved on. They'd already lost Ivan Toney the season before, another good goal scorer for them. So can you have that much upheaval and keep the team going the same way it has done for the past few seasons? In my opinion, it's too much of a loss to them. Sticking my neck out with this prediction, but I believe Brentford, looking at the teams above them, that will be above them, who are doing well, adding players to them, and they've got some stability. I think they will be okay. I think Brentford will be 18th place. I hope they don't go down, because I really actually enjoy watching them play football. A really good team, but my feeling is they'll be going down 18th place. It's my shock. Relegation candidate. Okay, so let's have some fun with individuals. Making some guesses that will make me look like a genius or get me roasted in the comments section. So let's go with the top scorer first. Last season was Salah comfortably, but I'm going to go for Erling Haaland. Manchester City will be coming back strong, the redemption. If he stays fit, Erling Haaland, he'll score bags of goals. He'll score close to 30 goals for me. His teammates let him down last season as well, not providing for him. It kept him very quiet. Defence kept him quiet, but the fact his teammates weren't putting the ball in the box for him, not giving him the service he needed, and then he had the injury in the middle of the season as well. It stunted him. Provided he stays fit, he'll run fit. So top scorer, Erling Haaland. Okay, so I'm going to go for the most assists. Assist king this season will be Cole Palmer. Just take a drink. So last season, Cole Palmer, he was good for the first half of the season, but then he thawed out, and he was more Keir Starmer than Cole Palmer after Christmas, in honesty. So if he can keep consistent this season, for me, he's going to get the most assists. He can put a ball in across the pitch from anywhere. There's a game last season, I can't remember who we were playing against. I think maybe Newcastle, to be fair. He just played it forward up the pitch, through the middle of the park, and Chelsea scored from it, and it was just a delightful pass. Silky left foot, really good. Scored a consolation goal in the Euros final for England, 2024. Class player, and he also scored for himself, I'm sure, this season as well. But for me, the most assists this season, it's going to be Cole Palmer. He's also got quite a few strikers now to put that away for him as well to get him there. Cole Palmer most assists. Golden Glove. I was on about this earlier, but David Raya. He got it last season, joint with Matt Sells from Nottingham Forest. Both of those keepers had exceptional seasons. But I think Arsenal's centre-back pairing, Gabriel Saliba They're just solid, aren't they, really? They don't concede many at all, particularly at home. But they've also got more solid away from home as well. He's got the best centre-back partnership in front of him, in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think. Made some unbelievable saves last season. I think there's one from Ollie Watkins at Villa Park. The ball's hit the bar. He's got up and he's dived in front of Watkins, palmed it away in the middle of the goal. Absolutely sensational. That was one of many saves. There's a couple in the Champions League which are outstanding as well. There's one against Atalanta, if I get that right. But for me, he will be the top goalkeeper this season. I'll keep the most clean sheets. David Raya. Best new signing, Ryan Cherky, Manchester City. Haven't seen too much of him play live actually or on television. He can play a number of positions forward. He plays a 10, he plays a winger, particularly off the right. Both footed, left and right. An ex-colleague of mine actually really rates him as a Manchester City fan. Really rates him. He's going to be very excited to see him play. He could be the difference, getting Manchester City back up the table in attack, providing for Haaland, scoring his own goals as well. He's scored some cracking goals from outside the box. I think he's actually, if I remember right, just checking the stat, contributed the third most chances created in the top 5 European leagues last season. So he's got to be pretty decent to be able to do that in the Lyon team. I think Turkey will bring to Manchester City what they hoped Jack Grealish would have done a couple of years back. But I mean, a third of the price of Jack Grealish. It's a snip, really. I really think he'll be the difference this season for Manchester City, and he'll create goals, score goals. Ryan Cherky. And the last one for me, it's gone on quite a long time, longer than I thought. I must have talked quite a lot. Breakout season. Tino Livramento. Start season last season again. He got switched from right back to left back due to injuries. Had a really good season when he came in and played, but this season he's going to kick on. He's going to become really good class player consistently for me. I watched him in England 21s tournament. He was a standout player for England. A little bit of bias there, but he genuinely was. Gets forward. He can play with his left or right foot. Puts a great ball into the box. Lots of assists hopefully this season for Newcastle. And it's talking him actually signing maybe for Manchester City this season, this summer, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think we're in the mood to sell players right now, and we don't want to let one of our top players go again. Some reasons to Isak. I think he'll be really good this season, and he'll break into the England team, which is great because the World Cup's coming around in a year's time as well. So my player to watch and breakout season for a young player is Tino Livramento. And there you have it, Tricky's picks for the 2025-2026 season. Do you agree or do you disagree? Please put your comments in the comments section. You can also email offsideandontap@gmail.com. I'll share your thoughts in the next coming episodes as well. Just remember to keep the beer cold and the banter warm. Okay, don't go too harsh. Be nice. This is new to me. That's it for this episode of Offside and On Tap. I'll see you on the next episode, and it'll be the first game week of the season, the predictions for all the fixtures there. Cheers for popping in. See you next time.